And good evening, everybody. This is Vinny Milletti with Milletti Law, the strongest name in law. Today is Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. The time now is about 6:40, 6:50 p.m., something to that effect. And, well, number one for starters, please, subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel, make this thing grow. If you haven't been on the newsletter yet, go to the website, www.millettilaw.com, www.millettilaw.com. Go to the website, sign up for the website, and get on the newsletter. It's very important, because, you guys and girls know us by now. We get blocked all the time because we always engage in stuff that just is counterculture and anti-government and all kinds of stuff. So let's get down to it. So today, the brief discussion today is going to be basically getting evicted in New York City. Getting evicted in NYC is the name of this video. Getting evicted in New York City. So recently, Governor, what's the name? Hochul? Governor Hochul, right, signed some moratorium on evictions, which the original moratorium on evictions got rejected by the court. The court jumped in, said it was, whatever, it was a problem, it was unconstitutional, they don't have the right to do that. So the city created a system to where they can't just outright categorically block your eviction process, but rather they can create barriers, they can create assistance for tenants, whatever the case is. Look, I'm not getting into the politics of it, but I'm just letting you know as a tenant, just so you understand what's happening with this whole new system that's going on. Basically, the landlord's supposed to give you some kind of notice if they want to evict you. This goes for commercial and residential tenants. The landlord's supposed to give you some kind of notice if they want to evict you, or if they don't, the tenant can go right online. He can get this COVID-hardship disclaimer notice. I think, what the heck is it called? The tenant hardship form. So they can go online, get a tenant hardship form. They can fill it out, send it to the landlord. If they do that and the landlord doesn't oppose, and the landlord can't evict you until January 15, 2022. Until January 15, 2022. Keep in mind that if the moratorium gets extended again, and is likely going to be extended. So, but for now, if the landlord doesn't agree, if the landlord thinks that the tenant is kind of lying, landlord could push back and get a hearing on that. If the landlord agrees, the tenant files their form, sends it to the landlord, tenant hardship form. It's something like COVID related. It says that whether you received, you had a COVID hardship, COVID related hardship, your business was impacted, your money was impacted, or something to that effect. One of your family members suffered from COVID. Very easy to go ahead and apply for. Another thing the city created, though, was something known as the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program. So what this is, the city has a certain amount of money allocated in a fund. If you whatever issues you have, if you need representation, if you need, if you need assistance paying your landlord, whatever the case is, you have a rent-stabilized apartment, whatever the situation is, this fund is supposed to help you. So it's sort of kind of like an enhanced kind of legal aid fund. So that's an option for tenants also as well. Let's say you have the tenant hardship form, but for whatever reason this is also an option, so you could jump into that and get some funding for your landlord for that. Your landlord would probably appreciate that a little bit more, because at least they're paying something. If you do nothing, you will be evicted. There's nothing that stops them from evicting you. If you do nothing, you will be evicted. The eviction process, is generally, I think they're called summary proceedings. So summary proceedings generally pretty quickly. You can, assuming no issues with the backlog, because the court's extremely backed up right now. Extremely. We have cases now that August is being heard in November. I just had one situation that was just rescheduled. We are September. I just rescheduled for January. So courts are incredibly backed up right now. So I wouldn't suspect summary proceedings to go very quickly, but it's safe to assume between 6 and 8 weeks you'll have your summary proceedings, you'll have your first hearing. One other question that came up was whether or not a landlord can, use self-help to evict you. They cannot in New York. There is no self-help eviction, and people think that, well, that's only residential, not businesses. the rule is that if it's reasonably expected that you're going to have some kind of pushback, you just can't do it. You're not going to be able. You can't just go ahead and just. The landlord's just not going to come in, even in a commercial situation. The landlord's just going to come in and change the locks. They're not just going to come in and lock up your mailbox. They just can't do these things. You just can't in New York. So no matter really what the situation is, and if there's even like a scintilla of evidence that says that you will push back on it, that there's going to be some problem, they can't do any self-help. So that's just a real short, quick video on this because this came up in conversation, and I just want to make sure it's clear to everybody. If a landlord still wants to push, you still can. You just kind of got to go through the motions. You got to do the hearing. You got to do the process. So you still can do it. So look, obviously, if there's any landlord-tenant issues, displacement, or a hard time paying your rent, whatever the case is, you should always be negotiating. Negotiation is always going to be key. You always want to negotiate before you get into issues with having to go to court or even having to address any letters like that. So remember, negotiation is always key. If you happen to fall on some kind of hardship, there is some kind of relief for you as a tenant. However, if the landlord believes you're kind of, not being truthful, they could certainly still take some moves and steps. So I do hope this was a little bit helpful. This provided a little bit of clarification because, the rules here in New York change every single day. And it's almost like a full-time job trying to just, it's almost a full-time job just trying to keep those legal updates like up to date because it basically changes every single day. So obviously, if you have any questions, concerns, any comments, you can leave them in the comment section below. You can email my website. You can go to millettilord.com. You can put something in the contact us page. I don't particularly care. We have just tons of places for you to leave commentary and to leave your forms, stuff like this. And again, go judge us directly. More than happy to help in any situation. Yours in law, love, and lifts. Always staying usually motivated. Milletty Law, the strongest name in law. I am Vinny Milletty, and I will speak to you later. Have a great evening.